I recently listened to an interview with astronaut Michael James Massimino. In the interview, he said something that caught my attention. He said anyone who is at the top of their game, who we would consider to be one of the most successful people in the world, aren't people who have never failed. They're just people who didn't let failure stop them. Investor Ray Dalio is one of those people. He's created the largest hedge fund in the world because of how he responds to unexpected problems and failures. When Dalio encounters a failure in the stock market, he uses it as a chance to reflect and extract a principle he can use on future trades. Ray Dalio says, "I have found it helpful to think of my life as if it were a game, in which each problem and failure I face is a puzzle I need to solve. By solving the puzzle, I get a gem in the form of a principle that helps me avoid the same sort of problem or failure in the future." Ray Dalio's philosophy in life and in business is pain plus reflection equals progress. If you and I can learn to see the upside of pain like Ray Dalio, we can strive to achieve truly audacious goals. Because the hundreds of problems or failures we'll encounter will simply allow us to build a better system of principles, making the path to success smoother and smoother. Here is a 3-part process for adopting a principled approach to life that I've extracted from Ray Dalio's book, Principles. You can use this 3-part process to pave the way towards your truly audacious goals. Part 1. Be radically open-minded. When you adopt a mindset of radical open-mindedness, you genuinely want to hear people's honest opinion of you. You want to know how badly you're failing, how flawed your thinking is, or how weak your skills are, because you can use that information to get better. When you're radically open-minded, you frequently ask questions like, "What am I missing?" Or, "How can I get more honest feedback?" You seek the truth regardless of how much it might hurt. Being on YouTube, I get many opportunities to practice radical open-mindedness. I'll occasionally get comments like, "Dude, your animation sucks." That comment hurts, but by adopting a radically open mindset, I can let my anger pass and then ask myself, is there some truth to that? With an open, egoless mindset, I can see that, yeah, I do have room to grow as an animator. And doing so will help me achieve my goal of being a great teacher. It triggers me to search for ways I can improve my animation skills. I look for the best online animation courses where I can extract the best animation principles. By letting the pain of that seemingly negative comment pass, I can find a truth that I can use to get better. That seemingly rude person has done me a favor. Part 2. Find the root cause. I often experience the pain of failing to show up on time for important events. I tend to be late for meetings, I tend to be late for appointments, and I tend to be late for flights. Before having a principled approach to life, I would blame specific circumstances for my lateness. "Oh, the traffic was just terrible," or "Oh, sorry, I had to take an important phone call." But the truth is, I often lose track of time, or I don't properly factor in the time it takes to get to my appointments. It's a flaw, a weakness I have, and it's the root cause of the pain I feel when I'm late. By identifying the root cause of my lateness, I can design a principled system to deal with it. After a period of study and trial and error, I now put every event and appointment in my calendar, and I make sure I get notified of that event twice, 1 hour before and 15 minutes before. By learning the principle of scheduling every event and appointment, and adding an additional reminder to capture my attention, I found that I've been able to mitigate one of my flaws and reduce the number of times that I experience the pain that comes from being late. Finding root causes can often be painful because it usually leads to a personal weakness. However, just because you have a weakness doesn't mean you have to simply live with it. Finding a weakness is like finding a leaky pipe in your house. There are a few things you can do to address that pipe. First, you could find or come up with a principled system to work around it, like putting a bucket under the pipe and emptying that bucket once a day. Or you could find the principles to develop the skill of pipe repair by watching a few YouTube videos and trying to fix the pipe yourself. And that way you turn the weakness into a strength. Or you could find the principles that will help you find the right people to mitigate your weakness, like knowing who to call and how to negotiate a contract with a plumber. But the problem is most of us take a fourth option. We sell the house with a leaky pipe and move to a new house. Essentially, we run away from our weakness and focus on a different goal. But sure enough, that weakness shows up again, and we still don't have a way to address it. because we didn't take the time to reflect and build principles to deal with it. In the long run, it's much more beneficial to take the time and develop a principled approach to deal with your weakness. Part 3. Write your principles down. Ray Dalio says, to be principled means to consistently operate with principles that can be clearly explained. The easiest way to develop principles that you could clearly explain is to write them down and refine them. I used to get frustrated how much time I was spending reading, deconstructing, and translating these books into these YouTube videos. After some reflection, I realized that the root cause of my frustration was my book highlighting system. My highlighting system was overwhelming and chaotic. It lacked sound principles. So I took the time and analyzed different highlighting systems that people use and aggregated the best principles to create my own system. Now I highlight sections of a book using different colors. I have colors for stories, analogies, studies and statistics, and great quotes. I rank my highlights inside Kindle and then print them out before writing my script. I've written this system of principles down, along with other principles related to my book summary process, inside a Google document. I find myself referring back to this document routinely. I find that having my principles written down allows me to deconstruct a book faster and faster. In the end, like Ray Dalio, I've learned to see pain as the signal that it's time to reflect and search for a principle that I can use to deal with future problems and avoid future failure. This way, I never let the pain of failure stop me, and I can move forward towards truly audacious goals with confidence because I know that the principles I accumulate will help me to solve more problems I encounter, make better decisions, and be better equipped to deal with setbacks. That was the core message that I gathered from Principles by Ray Dalio. It's a book rich with knowledge, written by one of the most successful people on the planet. I highly recommend it. If you would like a one-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you've already signed up for the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. As always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.